Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Beatrice Annan, a communication member of the NDC, has also crashes with Akosua Manu to educate her on energy and power issues in the country, which was a heavy banter between the two of them. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what transpired between the two on Metro TV. But before we go, I would like you to subscribe to the channel for us, hit the notification bell, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us your suggestion through our WhatsApp number, which is 0277-128-777. Thank you.
What is Nanado's contribution and the entire NPP's contribution from 1992? And this question, I want you to ask Akosua for me. From 1992 to 2024, today is what? 22nd April 2024. The NPP has not added any significant megawatts to our generation mix. Anytime Ghana has had to make giant strides, you move from Nkrumah, then you come to NDC 1 under Jerry John Rawlings, then you come to NDC 2. The NPP has not added any significant generation power. Anytime we are having to talk about this energy issue, and I hear the NPP talk, maybe they should admit that they don't really understand the energy sector. Recently, when we met some of the people in the upstream sector, their concern is that the people there don't know, and yet they don't even want to listen to them too as industry players.
The people where?
The people managing the affairs.
We have ECG, we
yes,
have technical expertise that are in state institutions.
For the first time, you see the banter between ECG and PURC and things.
Right.
They don't know. They will not humble themselves and ask industry players, because you see, the most dangerous thing is he who knows not and knows not that he knows not. So this is where we are.
Don't finish it.
I don't even know the conclusion. Don't worry.
I beg you.
You see, so I'm talking about electricity expansion. The NPP, what have they done? What have they done? Because when we came to power in 2008, electricity coverage was just around 60.5%. By the time we exited power in 2016, we had moved the electricity coverage from the 60.5% to 83.24%. Then they came and they've increased it to 88.84%. We did above 22% addition. You have come to do 5 years. And you are saying that we should applaud you because you relocated. And so if we should applaud you for relocating Ameri, then the one who saw the vision 10 years ago, what should we do? We will sing Neko, Neba, Neko for the person. It is a new level of low in public governance. It is a new level of mediocrity being introduced. As we speak, and we have a power crisis on our hands. The IPPs are owed to a tune of $2.3 billion. The energy sector debt is more than $12 billion as we speak. The ESLA, which they chastise and criticize President Mahama for, and he left the ESLA of $3 billion annually. Today, by the Ministry of Energy's own report, the ESLA had cumulatively from 2016 given this government 30 billion cedis. Where are all those monies? So the one who saw the vision and brought ESLA, the one who brought the car power, the Asogli phase 2, the AXA, the one who brought all these plants is incompetent, should not be voted for. The one who is locating 6 units out of the many plants should be celebrated. When did we descend this low? So it tells you that when it comes to the administrative fortitude to manage Ghana's energy sector, the NPP does not have the needed and requisite skills to manage it. And Akosua said, you see, we had excess capacity of about 2,500. It is never true.
2.5. I didn't say 3.5.
You said 2.5. Yes.
You said 3.5.
I said 2.5. Okay, sorry. We never had, or we don't have any excess capacity of 2,500.
Currently, we don't.
When did we have it?
I said when American that deal was procured, it essentially gave us excess capacity of 2,500.
No, that's not so.
However, yes.
No.
It was.
This is when we say excess capacity in energy, this is what it means.
But you round up, because I don't want it to look like...
Yes, so I'll round up.
I've come in and then
yes,
I'm taking...
I'll round up. When we say excess capacity in energy, this is what it means. For every generation, you have what we call the installed capacity. You have what we call the reserve margin. Then you have what we call the peak demand. So if, let's say, your installed capacity is 5,000 and you have your peak demand to be 3,000, then you have your reserve margin, which is supposed to be 20%. So that's 1,000. The power that is left that you are not using for anything, that is what we call excess capacity. So excess capacity is not power that is added to the generation mix. What the NDC did was that we realized in 2014 we had a generation deficit. So the NDC added almost more than 2,500 capacity to the generation capacity. So that was never an excess capacity. What they were complaining about as excess capacity is after your peak demand, your reserve margin, your transmission losses, what is left? And even that one, we have shown that it is a lie, because averagely we were growing at 10%. You see, the NPP must
peak
relax.
Demand now is about
3,000 plus.
Something.
Oh, now
almost
I don't
4,
think so because of the doom. So
I think it's
I don't know
almost
whether
4,
we even have peak demand now. Because of the doom. So what are you demanding? There is no light.
No, but you still have the demand. As to whether the supply will be made available is also another thing.
But the demand
so
must be derived from data.
Because we have a projection of about
in the past, before the doom. So
in 2025, we're supposed to have about 4,000.
2025.
Yes. So
the projected.
Yes, the projected. That we should have.
So I'm saying that if you look, you see what President Mahama did, and God bless him. You see what President Mahama did was not to join the bandwagon and the noise. What he did was that he realized that if you look at how previous governments so if the shortfall is 2 cities or 20 megawatts, they just come and add some 15 megawatts. If the shortfall is 100 megawatts, what he did was that he took the data. He looked at the rate at which we were growing. And for even foreign investments and other things, they demanded that you have some excess capacity of about 10% before foreign companies will be comfortable to invest. And so when you do the analysis of the data, what he did was to project for at least 10 years so that by the 10 years we would have been doing more investment. If they were implementing the one district, one factory, we should be having power deficits in this country. If Valco was operating at maximum capacity, we should be having power crisis. The power crisis we are having in this country is financial mismanagement. It is because ECG has failed to pay the generators and the supply chain. When it comes to achievements in energy, economy, health, education, nobody should make a mistake and compare the NDC to the NPP, because we are light years ahead. What we do in these sectors, the investments we do, we don't do these pageantry, cutting sword and going to dance and gathering food soldiers to hail us. So we were on a mission to building a country. We're on a mission of industrializing our nation. And then these guys emerged, and here we are today. We are having to discuss relocation of 150 megawatts. Then the one who added the 2,500, what should we be doing to the person?
Now, the question is, did she state that the NPP has not added any capacity to the grid? Did she say that?
Oh, she said significance. She used the word significant.
The word was significant.
Yeah.
And significant will be what in her estimation?
Okay.
So let me come to something. What I stated in the beginning, I'm holding on firmly to it. Ameri became famous because of fraud. Somebody walked away with $160 million. In her submission, she sought to say that no money was exchanged. In the same submission, she said, she explained what BOT was, and in the sense that it's going to be operated in a 5-year period, by which time the $510 million will be realized. Right? Good. So whether it was immediate or not, the point is $510 million is gone because clearly it's been 5 years. Now, when it comes to the positioning of the plants with this new name and also in Kumasi, whether you want to say that it's to score political points or not, that fanfare you are trying to claim is not for the how do you call it, for the turbines. There's actually a power enclave. There are civil engineers, there are electrical engineers, there are mechanical engineers. There's a whole area that's going to provide value to the people, create job opportunities, create a value chain for the people to benefit from it. So if you want to sit here and say that you have a visionary in a leader who saw 10 years ahead, but had no plan as to what was going to consume that excess capacity, which again you fail to explain, and I'm going to question something. Because in the 8 years that he's had opportunity to explain what his vision was, it's been chicken coops. How much megawatt does a chicken coop consume? That you had 8 years to give or articulate your vision, and we are sitting here being told, it's being shoved down our throats that he's supposed to be a visionary and an energy expert in his own right. Now back to the capacity. First, she was emphatic. She said, no. Now you have introduced the word significant. Okay, in terms of significant, let's start. 2017, there's AXA, there's Aksogli, and then there's a car power ship, a total of 675 megawatts. 2018, there's AXA Phase 2, there's Sun Power, there's Minergy, a total of what? 490 megawatts. Then we come to 2019, more capacity added to the grid. TT2PP, Amandi, Gensa. What's the total? 239 megawatts. Then we come to 4 more plants in 2020, a total of 161.55 megawatts. Then in 2021, we have Gensa, Power, VRA Solar. It comes to a total of 79. If I was to even round this up, it comes to 1,645. So your visionary who in one fell swoop, cost the nation $510 million, which you have failed to justify. I was thinking you would tell us that, oh, you know, given the expertise you have and the expertise they have, that total of $510 million is justified. And you understand everything and appreciate everything and the vision.
So if they justify, will you believe it?
No. So you see, the question is, the fact that something was bad, okay, the fact that we agreed it was bad, the fact that we are saddled with it, the fact that our hands are tied, the fact that we are bound by it, doesn't mean that we can't find a way around it. We have, and we are using it.
Akosua said, you know what? We've added power. And she sought to quote the data from the Energy Commission. And Sasa mentioned, Asogli was this in 2017. Now is this. Car Power, TT3. Which of those plants that she has mentioned did they bring to Ghana? She should point one. Which of these plants that she has mentioned as capacity charges did you add?
So let me understand your logic and your reasoning. That in the same vein, when you bring a plant and the plant is still working under this government, then the plant is to your credit.
Why if the plant
is no, I want to understand it by her logic and reasoning, as she said. Now we've sat on this platform and conversations have gone on about how government doesn't want to continue certain projects or certain things that previous governments did. If by our thinking, no, let me finish because I had interjections from Annie. And Annie can be upset, but I have to point it out when it's the truth. I haven't finished asking my question. I'm saying that when it's your reasoning and your logic in trying to point out these plants, I'm saying that in the same vein, you make the argument that certain things that came about into being, no matter how mediocre or myopic it was, to your credit, you want us to take responsibility for it and admit that you brought it into being. At the same time, when these plants are working, you want to say that you want to take credit for it. Okay. Since you are the energy expert in this field.
I'll answer you, but can I ask you a
question? Car Power was running in Tema.
I'm asking you. Wait, you've asked me a question. Let me answer. So
the answer I actually need, which hasn't been answered, and that was in the very beginning, was the value of the $510 million. That's
What
where we
is-
start
what is
from.
your
Now, was it
understand-
actually $510
Akosua,
million?
is
That
everything
question hasn't
okay?
been. That question hasn't been answered. Because Annie is telling me
You
that
asked
it is
the
not
question,
true.
let me answer.
No, I'm saying that we start from that very initial cardinal
this
sin
question
of
you just
$510
actually
million dollars for a company that was in non-existence
Akosua,
and
Beatrice,
subsequently
hold
became
on.
No,
famous.
I mean, this is not fair. I need to
Akosua,
make my point. When
the
we are done,
legitimate question I have to ask you, Beatrice is a lawyer, unless maybe I'm wrong, is that your fact has not been established, and your fact does not necessarily represent the truth. You know that if I tell you,
You
that
set a question
if I
and
tell
you don't even have the details
If-
of it.
if-
And at the very center of the conversation, you tell me that my facts are not facts. At the same time, some of the things that I've said were even new to you till you verified. How do you set a question and not even for your own self know the facts before
if
we
I tell
proceed
you
into a
that
conversation?
your phone
That's
in
the question I want to ask.
If I
ask
tell
on
you your phone in front of you, maybe
it's false.
a Samsung,
No.
not iPhone.
let's say it's Samsung, it's not iPhone, all right? And I don't prove why it is Samsung and not iPhone. Does that mean what I'm saying? It might be true, it might be false, but does that mean what I'm saying necessarily represent the truth?
No. What I want
I
to
have to
understand.
go, hold on. I have to go beyond certain doubts to prove that indeed it's a Samsung.
What are the doubts
I mean,
and
I
what
see
are the
through this
conversations?
strategy. Let me
Because
make
you
my
set
point.
a question. No,
Okay,
Beatrice,
now let me-
Beatrice, go ahead.
Please,
Go
now,
ahead.
now I'm clearly.
Yes.
I know
Let me make
I know
my-
she's
no, I have
siding
my
with
time.
you on
So
this.
let me
but I
have-
want
no,
to understand
Akosua,
something.
you don't need to understand. I have my point to make. You made your point.
Energy
You
effort, continue.
peddled falsehood when you said that. What do you understand by generation capacity? Akosua obviously doesn't understand energy, and sometimes we all can't know everything. So
I
you
think the
you
viewers
keep
are
quiet,
here who understands and
or
who doesn't.
you ask before you come on the show. This morning when I was coming on the show, I spoke to one of our members on the energy committee to seek clarification on certain things
Oh, so
I
you
had
knew what
found.
was coming, like you
So
said, true.
yes, I knew what was coming. I always
Even though
come
you said
prepared.
in the beginning you didn't.
No, I said on this note she did well.
To send to you.
Yes.
Because I didn't have it. But it's fine.
That's your
Sent to you
internal.
directly.
So I'm
Okay.
saying that all the plants
clarity for the
Akosua has
viewers.
mentioned from the Energy Commission, Asogli, Car Power, TC3, none, not even one, did the MPP government bring to this country. The MPP government, you see, it is the hypocrisy and the duplicity of this government that is so annoying and sometimes nauseating. Listen to Akosua this morning. We paid excess capacity because President John Mahama brought excess capacity and we had to pay for it.
Really?
That's what you said.
But you just said that. You said that.
You said that.
You created.
Then you said-
you created an avenue to explain what excess capacity
Yes,
was.
I explained,
Excess
because you
capacity
didn't understand
is not.
and
You
you
don't
were
need to go
misusing
to.
it.
You don't need to take energy classes to understand excess
but
capacity.
you have masters in energy economics.
2,500
Akosua
megawatts.
has masters in the energy
Yes,
economics.
but I don't.
So why are
I'm
you
humble
making it
enough
look
not
like?
to go on set and pretend I'm an energy expert.
Please.
Point is, you
My
have
point
not.
is that, Akosua, please, you've had your time. Be civil and let me have my time. My point is
I'll
that
be civil as long as the language is decent enough for
my
viewers.
point is that, Annie, my point is that the duplicity, the dishonesty sometimes can be very nauseating. You come to sit here and you are using the Energy Commission data. That data I have perused very well because it is the basis for their claim that they added excess capacity. And all the plants you quoted, you did not even bring one to Ghana. All the plants you quoted were brought by the NDC government. What you have done is that she said that this government, the NDC government, brought take-or-pay. You have renegotiated those plans on the same take-or-pay basis, and it is the basis of that capacity has increased. But if you were a government in your right senses, how do you say we have excess capacity and we are paying for it, but you are negotiating and adding on to the excess capacity?
We actually
Who
don't
does
have that
that?
much excess capacity. And I
Who
said
does
so in
that?
my
Today you don't
submission.
have that much
No,
excess
we don't.
capacity.
I said, and you see,
You see, it is the hypocrisy.
You listen to
and the
comprehend, not to
duplicity.
rebut. You listen to comprehend and not just to rebut.
So
I
what was
said
the
in my
comprehension?
submission that by 2017 there was 2,500.
You said you haven't read.
And on
If you had
average,
read well,
no, because
if you had read, you would have seen.
I'm smart enough
You
to
understood
recall
that
some
you are
things.
just misusing
That-
data.
I'm smart enough
All right,
to
so
recall
Larry
some
says
things.
that Annie, are you a guest or a host?
Better.
Thank you for staying tuned. We really appreciate your time. Please do well to subscribe if you're a new member here. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.